Hollywood Times viewers. Today we welcome Iration lead singer, guitarist Micah Pueschel. Hey, Micah, how you doing?
Good. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm hanging in. Where are you calling in from?
Oh, I'm at home in Santa Barbara, California.
How's the weather up there?
It's really nice, actually. It's been pretty hot for the last couple of weeks, and it's kind of mellowed out a little bit. So today is a little bit nicer. But yeah, it's great.
Well, being down here in the Inland Empire, hot is like 105 for us. It's been 100 degrees. What's hot up there? Does it get as hot up there?
No, I think hot up here is in the mid 80s. That's pretty hot. I lived in the Inland Empire for a few years, though, so I do know how hot it gets down there.
Oh, no wonder you left. Good for you. Well, today, thank you for joining us. We're here to talk about your Sunshine and Summer Nights tour with Atmosphere. Now, I hear that's 30 dates across the country starting July 8th in Las Vegas, with stops in San Diego, July 9th at Bayfest, and then how totally awesome that it ends here on August 26th at FivePoint in Irvine. Let's talk about the tour, what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time we've ever toured with an act like Atmosphere, kind of an out and out hip hop rap artist. And so that's a first for us, which is awesome. I think we've always been admirers of his music and their music, I should say. And we listened to it in the early days of our career when we were touring around, and it was the music that we would listen to kind of get through our long drives. And so it's fairly surreal to be going out together on a tour, co-headlining. But yeah, we're very excited. I think that, after basically for us as a headliner, doing a summer gig, it's been 3 years since 2019, since we did Live from Paradise. And so we're just kind of trying to recapture some of the momentum we had from 2019 and try and keep that going, because we felt like it was 2019, the Live from Paradise tour was successful, and we're just trying to pick up where we left off.
And my son is a huge fan. He goes to all of your concerts, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this interview. I wish he was here. But he's so pumped, about the whole thing. He's really pumped to know that you're out there with Atmosphere on tour. He wanted to know what it's like to be around Slug, and are you a fan? And of course, you said you are. So, but what it's like to be around him?
Well, we've only hung out one time, and when we were in Minneapolis on the last run that we were on in May, and he's great. I mean, Slug and Ann are both super cool, super down to earth guys. Kind of what you'd expect based on their music. They're just real, kind of normal, down to earth people, like most musicians really are, despite whatever front they put on. Most of them are all very cool and very nice, and that's no different for Atmosphere, who I think they portray a very down to earth, everyman kind of thing with their music and with their whole image, and that's very much who they are. So it's not a front, they're just real people, and what you kind of see is what you get with them. So I respect that, and I think that they're really cool. I think it's going to be a really great mashup of styles and kind of just kind of looks and vibes with the different sounds and productions and styles of music every night.
Yeah. On this tour, do you expect to have like any surprise guests? Do you ever have that where they just know you're in town and they just show up? Does that happen? And may it happen?
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. I think it makes it harder with COVID still kind of happening, just because it's harder to get people in and out of shows easily, and people are less likely to and right now almost everybody's touring for the most part. So it's like we have very few friends that aren't touring right now or are going to be out when we are out. So that's the biggest thing, I think, is just almost every artist out there is on tour this summer. So if they aren't and we come to their town, then that's definitely a possibility.
Sounds good. As I was saying, my son's a big fan of yours. I'm going to ask a few questions that he has for you. He wants to know, it's been 12 years since Time Bomb. What's the vibes been like to this point?
Well, we've had some changes, obviously. The lineup on the band has changed a little bit. From Time Bomb, we had Kai, who was another singer, and he left in 2010-ish, and 2009, 2010 era, so it's been a decade or so, or somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly the date, but it's been about 10 years. And yeah, and so, you know, we've added Micah Brown to the band. We've added a horn section, and the music and kind of the style and the sound overall and the performances kind of has changed quite a bit since those days. And so, you know, and obviously I think we've always made it a point to kind of make the music that we feel is real to us. And so at the time, you know, we were in our early 20s and we were writing Time Bomb, and that was the lives that we were living. And as we've gotten older and gotten married and had kids and things like that, we still want to write music that's true to us. And you know, I think that people respect that, and our fans have grown along with us. And so, yeah, I think, you know, the sound has changed a little bit, and we're kind of at the point now where we're ready to kind of reevaluate where we are as a sound wise, and go back to kind of what the sound of Time Bomb was and Automatic in those early records, which was, you know, trying to capture the band live again. And so that's what we're going for.
Well, he also wanted to know, how's daddy life like?
It's the best. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and
She's beautiful.
Yeah, it's the best. Thank you. She's like, you know, she's the number one star of my life and my everyday. So yeah, it's been awesome, and it's been a real, you know, perspective changer. And you know, your priority becomes your kids when you have kids instead of yourself, and that is no different for, you know, myself. And so she's now my number one priority and my number one focus. But obviously I'm still, you know, I have to provide for her, and that's what music does. And I obviously love making and creating music, and it's no chore to have to go out there and perform for thousands of people. And so I'm not going to complain about it, but you know, the hard thing is being away from her. But the great thing is that I get to be out there sharing music and kind of spreading good, positive vibes and making people happy. So.
Well, that's awesome. Will you bring her out to maybe the FivePoints concert to introduce her to people, or are you keeping her behind the scenes?
No, yeah, I mean, she might come out. She was at Cali Vibes, and we're in Long Beach, and we played the night before in Santa Barbara. So more likely she'll probably come to the Santa Barbara show, but it's a possibility that she'll come down to FivePoints as well.
That's cool. I know my son and them were at Cali Vibes, so, you know,
yeah,
if you got him going about your daughter, he probably went. He has 3 sons, so, you know, not
okay.
having any daughters, and I had 2 sons, so don't know what it's like to have a daughter, but it must be special.
I'm pretty sure it's a little different from having boys, but you know.
Oh, and here's another one he's asking: seeing how reggae and island music has become such a huge culture of love and good vibes in society, how does it feel to be part of it?
Well, I think that's always been kind of our mission statement from the beginning, was we wanted to make positive music, and we just felt like there are enough artists out there that are making, you know, they're doing commentary or doing music that is for the other side of things, and kind of playing to, you know, those feelings of sadness. And you can talk about the darkness and the other things that are part of life, but we just prefer to be on the side of what we feel is like lifting people up. And we were lucky enough to grow up in Hawaii, and we, you know, we had a very good lifestyle and a good growing up in childhood. And the way to just be real to that, and kind of try to spread a little bit of that positivity around is kind of what has always been our mission statement and our kind of goal. Obviously, you know, we like to just make songs, and whether that, you know, where that takes us, we take that. But I think in general, we all have a pretty optimistic view of the world, and so that's going to be our music's going to be tinged with that optimism. And so I think it feels good, you know. I think it feels good to be on the side of positivity and good.
Let's talk about the band. Can you tell us who your band members are at this point?
Yeah, so myself, we have another guitar player and singer named Micah Brown, another Micah, so there's 2 of us. Then our bass player is Adam Taylor, drummer is Joseph Dickens, keyboard player is Kason Peterson, and then our horn players are Drake Peterson and Tony Rinaldi. So we have a good 7 guys on stage now, and yeah, it's a big sound, which is what we've always wanted. And we're able to be versatile through our catalog, and the early days when we didn't have horns, we can play those songs and accomplish those songs, and then we can play the new stuff that has the horns on it, and it's great.
And during the pandemic, were you able to write more music for another album to come out sometime soon?
Yeah, and we are currently writing right now. So we started writing during the pandemic. We also put out our album Coast in 2020. So that was a big part of that, was like still trying to figure out ways to promote that album and perform as much as we could in a way that was safe. So we were doing a lot of streaming, and we did some drive-in shows down in Orange County and San Diego,
cool.
Ventura. Those were cool. But yeah, nothing really beats a proper, live concert, a live show. And so, but we've been writing, and we are currently writing, and we'll take a break for a couple months while we're on the road, and then we'll come back and try to finish up writing the kind of record that we've been working on for a few months now.
Great. What was it like coming out to the first live concert after COVID? What was that like?
It's pretty surreal. I mean, it's it's like riding a bike, though, for us. We've been doing it for over a decade, so it feels very natural once you do get out there and kind of get past that initial, oh, I'm on stage again, like, where am I going, what am I doing, what am I saying, and all that stuff, and then it just becomes second nature again, and natural. And yeah, nothing takes the place of the energy of a crowd and the connection that you get from a live performance. So,
and during your concerts, since I have to say I haven't been to one, but I'm sure going to go to the next one, do you guys have merchandise that you guys have out there for your fans?
Oh yeah, we do have a lot of merchandise, and the merchandise is available also online at irationmusic.com. So if you don't make it to the show, or you're not able to get it at the show, there's lots of stuff on our website, and there's lots of older designs that we don't carry with us on the road as well. So there's kind of a log of stuff that you can get to that is not necessarily going to be available at the shows, because we can only bring a limited number of designs on tour with us, and some of those will include mostly newer designs. And obviously, if you can get to the live shows, it's better to pick up some of the things, because we do a lot of limited release stuff where if you don't get it at the live show, then it's hard to get it after the fact, or we won't print it again. So we just try to keep things fresh and new, and give people opportunities to have things that are a little bit more special, or indicative of one year or one tour, rather than just having certain designs that stay with us forever.
Yeah. Also, who's going to be joining you on this tour?
Yeah, so obviously Atmosphere I mentioned, but also the Grouch, who's another really rad kind of hip hop artist that kind of fits in the same mold as Atmosphere, in that same style. And then we have Passafire, who's a band that we've known for a decade at least, and have toured with in the past. Our second or third ever national tour that we did was they were along with us, and so we've known each other for a long time and are good friends, and we're happy to have them as well. And they have a really unique, high energy, they're really talented musicians, and their show is great. So yeah, we're just overall very stoked to be able to do it, and to have the groups that we have with us, and I think it's gonna be a good time.
With all your other tours, you have a favorite venue that you like to play at that's just like amazing each time?
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of really cool venues out there. St. Augustine Amphitheatre in Florida is great. We really like playing Santa Barbara Bowl, obviously our hometown show. There's Pier 17 in New York is great. It's kind of plays above the water and the Brooklyn Bridge, and so that's really, really cool. There's a ton. We're lucky enough to get to play some really, really, really fun, beautiful amphitheaters in scenic places, and so I think it really matches up well with the music that we play.
So do you think one day you'll have you ever been to Red Rock?
Yeah, we've done Red Rocks. I didn't mention
place.
it just because we're not doing it on this tour, but
got it. Yeah,
I meant Red Rocks we've been able
that's
to do
cool. Yeah,
a few times. Yeah, it's great.
I just wanted to ask, what brought you here to the mainland from Hawaii? You're from the Big Island?
Yeah, I'm from the Big Island. We moved up here to go to college. So I went to school, and that's where I was in the Inland Empire. I went to school at Pomona College.
Oh, nice.
So in Claremont, yeah. So I lived in Claremont for 4 years, and then after I graduated, I moved up to Santa Barbara and joined my bandmates up here who were going to school up here. So yeah, we did well by our parents and got our degrees, and then we decided to embark on the journey of music after the fact, which maybe has nothing to do with the degrees that we have, but we
What
found
is
our
your
way
degree?
anyway. Yeah, my degree is in psychology, so
Yeah.
who knows, I probably still am using it, but yeah, it was the other guys I think are communications and economics and things like that, and so those, they all factor into the parts of being in a band and a business. But yeah, I think we got the education. I think that's really what matters, and whether or not you use the specific degree that you earn to in your career is a whole nother story. But
Well, good for you. Your mother must be very proud, and your dad.
yeah, they're happy that they the amount of money that was spent on education didn't go to waste, at least.
Yeah, that's a great college is over there.
Yeah.
It's a great community, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is beautiful. I loved it. I had a great time.
Oh, yes. Have you been back to the islands? Do you go back often?
Yeah, we go back once. We were just actually there in April. We played 3 shows in Hawaii, and so I was able to go back a couple months ago.
Nice.
It was really fun. Yeah, we got to go play it on Oahu and Maui and Kauai, and those were great shows. And we felt like a big success for us going back and be able to play in front of some great crowds and see our friends and family and play for them. We hadn't been back in almost 5 years, so
Oh, wow.
to play at least.
Yeah.
And so it was a really cool thing to be able to do that and see them and kind of reconnect. So.
And your last album, that's Coastin', right? Is that the last
Yes.
album you had? You had 13 songs. That's a great number. That's my favorite number, by the way, 13. Did you have a favorite song off of that album?
Oh, it's hard to pick them. It's like picking your kids or something like that.
Especially when we got 13.
There's a lot. I think Guava Lane is a song that has really grabbed a lot of people. People have attached to. I think there's a song called Learn For Me that I wrote about my daughter before she was born, which means a lot to me. There's a song called If You Only Knew, which I tend to love. It has a kind of a funky jazzy R&B style that I kind of lend my ear lens to, and there's a lot. I mean, I it's hard to pick, obviously, but those are the ones that to me, my ear kind of lends itself to those songs.
Are you the writer, co-writer on all of these songs, or?
Yeah, I write and co-write. So that's a big part of what my responsibility is in this band is helping to write and co-write and to craft and produce and do things like that on that side of the fence. I love performing as well, but I really feel like that's where I'm my strength is, and where my real desire in music is in the creation of music and songs and things of that nature.
Yeah, I can imagine growing up in the islands that it seems to like help you with your music. It's such great music. I mean, my son turned me on to you. I'm a country western person. That's all I listen to. And he turned me on to you, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are like amazing. It's like, I really like your sound and the music that's used. It's really great.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we just tried to make a sound that was all our own. And, growing up in Hawaii, you have that, that island music, the Hawaiian music. Then there's a local kind of style of music that's not Hawaiian language music, and reggae is a huge part of that. And so, that mixed in with just whatever your parents were listening to, which is could have been anything. My mom was luckily had really good taste in music, so it was anything from Clapton to the Beatles to Hall & Oates and Steely Dan. So it was a lot of different things that I got exposed to, and I think that's only made our music better, in the long run, because we are exposed to so many different sounds, and we're open to going there musically and kind of pushing ourselves to try and do different things. So
How old were you when you like knew you could write, knew you can sing, wrote your first song and started playing guitar? Like how old were you?
I didn't start playing guitar until I was in college, actually.
Oh,
And I didn't start writing until I was in college. So very late, because music was not something that I even envisioned myself doing until, even after college. So for me, I always knew I could sing. I knew I could sing when I was a kid. Even though I was very shy to do it, I knew I could sing in my, but when I was by myself in the shower, or when I was younger, then I'd get to music class and be like, okay, can you sing this? And I'd be like, and freeze up. I wouldn't want to sing in front of people. But it's something I kind of knew I could do from an early age. And then as I got older and people started to hear me sing, and I had friends that were like, dude, you should sing more, like you should join the choir. And so I did that and kind of went from there. And then I was able to get, develop through high school, get the music prize in high school. And that kind of gave me some confidence to kind of move forward.
And how easy was it or hard was it for you to learn the guitar?
I'm still learning. So it's a lifelong chore for me. It's guitar. I bought it. Got a piano, so I'm kind of refocusing a little bit, trying to learn piano.
Nice.
Yeah, the guitar for me, I love the guitar, and I fell in love with it when I first started playing it. But a lot of it was for me, it was like just a means to be able to write music with, to have something that I could get music down with. And so I don't pretend to be any sort of virtuoso on the guitar, but it's more of something that I have with me that helps me write music and helps me be musical, and also gives me something to do on stage. So I don't
Cool.
I don't have to worry about what to do with my hands.
There you go. That's even better, right?
I don't have the awkward hands
Good
on
answer.
myself.
Yeah, you're like, okay, what I do? Yeah, that's great. So can you tell us what your social media is then for all your platforms? All the same?
Yeah, so it's at Iration is pretty much everything. Irationmusic.com is the website, and you can get to all of the social media, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. It's all through, you can get there all from irationmusic.com. So that'd probably be the easiest kind of hub for everything, as well as the tour dates and merch and all those other things. So yeah, I would just say irationmusic.com, and then on Instagram, if you search Iration, it's either Iration Official, one of those two. So
and then our viewers can find you on Spotify as well.
Spotify, anywhere where they stream music, for the most part, is Apple Music, Spotify,
cool.
Tidal, etc. It's all there. So yeah.
Great. I'll put the links up. I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm going to ask you to do a little commercial about Sunshine and Summer Nights Tour. So
Okay.
there you go.
All right. Well, this is Micah from Iration. I'm letting you know Sunshine and Summer Nights Tour begins Friday in Las Vegas, and we are coming to a town near you. If we're not coming to your town, come out. It's Iration, Atmosphere, the Grouch, Passafire. It's a night of music, good music, bands, hip hop, something that you would want to listen to. Come check it out. Promise you'll have a good time, and you'll leave in a better mood than when you got there. So come check us out.
That was awesome. And his music. And if I'm not feeling good because something's going on or I'm depressed, I just turn on his music now, and it's like, okay, life is grand. It's like whatever was going on is not there anymore. So you guys are amazing, and I can't wait to see you live.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. I know how busy you are.
No problem.